We just got more breaking news on the future of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie franchise, and we made a video yesterday covering exactly what the director said. But we have even more news we have to talk about, man. So we have a bunch of tweets by my man Johnny, as well as the Hollywood Handle. The Hollywood Handle said Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich will have a bigger role in the potential Five Nights at Freddy's 3 teases director. I think it would continue scratching all of our itch to see more of them and bring that reunion even more to life. Now, I'm not gonna lie, man, my man Johnny also has a bunch of tweets that the director was talking about, man, talking about the marionette, talking about cameos, talking about, the trauma bond between Mike and Vanessa. There's so much stuff that the director talked about today, but we're mainly going to talk about that Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich connection. Guys, like I said, I believe Five Nights at Freddy 3 is going to be the Matthew Lillard show. It's going to be the fiasco that we know of William Afton in Springtrap. But when you have William Afton, how are you going to forget William Afton and not have Henry Emily, his co-partner, the ones that built this entire circus up? Now, I really like hearing that, man. I don't know if the Henry Emily William Afton connection scenes of them going to be together. I really think that they're going to be a flashback scene. I don't think they can be in person and in real life, because the problem is that William Afton is Springtrap. How are they going to interact? Now, that'd be really cool if we see Springtrap versus Henry Emily and they're like, oh my god, like that would be crazy. I don't think they're going to do that. Maybe it's like a slight cameo, a slight tease, like we saw Mike Schmidt versus William Afton and they have that battle and stuff like that. But the thing is, how they're going to do Springtrap is going to be so important, because the thing is, if they're going to make Springtrap a full machine, no soul, no human being, which I think that's what they're going to end up doing, how can he have that connection with Henry Emily? Also, I do think what they're going to do is I think Matthew Lillard will be in the Springtrap suit. Spring Bonnie, he was in the suit, but I think he will be in the Springtrap suit, because a lot of people have theorized, hey, is it going to be his soul? Is it going to be, his remains? No, I think they're going to actually put a real human being inside that Springtrap suit. We have the big connection of Springtrap and Henry Emily. I think it's going to be a fantastic sight to see Springtrap and Henry Emily come face to face, the co-workers that went two different routes. I also think we're going to get a bunch of flashback scenes, whether that's William Afton creating the animatronic, creating Spring Bonnie, Henry Emily's impact in the story, his flashback scenes. I think the majority of the scenes are going to be a bunch of flashback scenes, but we know Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich have that big connection, being in the Scream franchise and so many different other movie franchises that they were in the horror phase, man. Seeing these announcements gets me so excited, man. Now, nothing has been confirmed yet for the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie, but I think we're heading in the right direction. Of course, over $220 million for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. How are they not going to make a Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie? We see also the things here that the director said. We have things like cameos. We have things like the marionette. She talks about how there are so many more animatronics, including the marionette. But, the marionette was not only a character, a bunch of other things that she said in this big paragraph. We also see the role of cameos, because we saw a bunch of YouTubers get cameos and stuff like that. And also the connection between the trauma bond between Mike and Vanessa, talking about, Josh and Elizabeth Leo, and how they have the connection of playing these different characters. Getting the confirmation that Matthew Lillard and Henry Emily are going to have expanded roles in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is such a good sign to see. Look, I do believe that Springtrap will be the majority of the marketing for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I think if you're going to go watch Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it's going to be for Matthew Lillard. If we go back to Fnaf 1 and Fnaf 2, some of the best scenes in the entire movies are all Matthew Lillard, whether it's the beginning scene of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, whether it's the end scene of Five Nights at Freddy's 1, where they're battling it out, I Always Come Back, etc., the whole thing like that. If we get the dream sequence of Vanessa versus Matthew Lillard, if we get that sequence, if we get everything relating to the Spring Bonnie, Springtrap animatronic in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie franchise, has been nothing but peak. That's what I'm so excited about. Everything, literally, that I can't name one mid to bad scene that Springtrap was in, because man, every single scene that we get Spring Bonnie or Springtrap, it's nothing but fantastic cinema. FNAF 2 had very little Springtrap. FNAF 1 had a little bit more Springtrap, Spring Bonnie, William Afton. Even the scenes with William Afton, the way Matthew Lillard is able to portray William Afton, this weird, creepy, like something is strange with this guy, like character. It's just so fantastic seeing it, man. He does it so well. It's so creepy seeing it. Everything that goes on with it, man. I'm so excited that we're going to get the return of Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich back into an expanded role with Henry Emily and William Afton, man. I'm really excited to see what the route they're going to take. We still have the Michael Afton role and the baby role. Don't know what they're going to do there. I do think Henry Emily will be the guy that burns the entire place down like we see in FNAF 6. I do think they're going to keep with that. I would love to see a final battle between Henry Emily and William Afton, looking at each other in the face. William Afton remembers who he is, even though he's disheveled, he's in the Springtrap suit. suit, the man he's become is Springtrap. And we see Henry Emily, the former business partner of William Afton, look at the guy he used to work with and say, man, how far have you gone? You've gone so far down. What have you done? What have you done with Charlotte? You're the one responsible for Charlotte. He just gets his revenge on William Afton. I think that would be such a cool scene, man. Former business partners going at each other. And then I think Henry Emily is eventually going to light the place on fire, man. I mean, look, expanded roles. What could that mean? And the director said, I think it would continue scratching all of our itch to see more of them and bring that reunion even more to life. Even the directors and Scott Cawthon have the itch. We need to see these two together in some way. They need to make it work, whether it's a flashback, whether it's real life. I know why it'd be a little bit harder to do. I do think the flashback scene is guaranteed to be in the movie. We're going to get some type of flashback. Henry Emily remembering his ways with William Afton saying, oh my God, that's my guy. And then we're going to get a flashback seeing them build the animatronics together, build baby. Maybe William Afton said some, sus activity back in the day that had Henry Emily scratching his head like, what did he mean by that? Maybe William Afton said something about kids, something about Spring Bonnie, how he wants to use Springtrap to terrorize everyone. Something like that, man. Even if we look at the comments here, it's gonna no, it's not gonna be 3 minutes. Come on. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking at the comments here. It's everyone's so excited about these two. Fans are gonna love that reunion energy coming back stronger. I agree, man. This is gonna be a fantastic reunion, man. And look, we talked about it yesterday. We're getting even more Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie news, man. I'm so excited to see this. It's such an exciting time, man. The movie's doing great. Coming on digital. The new year's starting. We're getting such good stuff with the Five Nights at Freddy franchise, man. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen with Henry Emily and Matthew Lillard, man. There's so many good things that can go on with their connection. I don't know how. They have to also be careful not to overstep it because it has to make sense. You can't have Henry Emily go in there and Matthew Lillard go in there and it has to make sense. I do think makes sense. It's gonna be a lot of flashback scenes as well as, burning the place down. Henry Emily's gonna give his speech exactly like we saw in Fnaf 6, for one of you, this place deserves to go down, the whole spill and stuff like that, man. But what do you guys think in the comment section? What do you want Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich's role to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie? Do you want it to be more? Do you want it to be less? Overall, what do you want to see as fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise? And if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that sub button, man. We're posting more FNAF stuff, more Mario stuff, more Avengers stuff, more Sonic stuff. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys want to see in the next video, all right? I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button.